December 3rd, 2013. Welcome aboard to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Surprise, everybody. One last day. We created a new day. It's called Cyber Tuesday. That's right. Why did we do it? Because we can. We can and we did because we care about our distributors. We care about forwarding the message of longevity to as many people as we can. So, this is it. No more surprises after today. This is the last chance you're going to get this year, probably ever, quite frankly, to get my annual subscription at half the price. If you've got people in your downline who are active and busy, even if they're doing it sometime, attempting to build their longevity business, hook them up with an online subscription. Buy it for Christmas, for goodness sake. It comes out to $8 a month. It's nonsense. It's ridiculous. We're giving it away. $8 a month. It's $98.50 a year for complete access to all of my archived webinars and complete access to all of my live events. It's for today only. We're doing this to support the downline so that you can have people in your longevity organization who are able, with ease, to move our message forward with lightning speed. Check it out. Today is the last day. Now, you know, a broken clock is correct twice a day, right? A broken clock is correct twice a day. Well, every once in a while, the MDs get it right. Medscape Medical News. Flash News. Daily multivitamin may lower the risk for cataracts. I quote, taking a multivitamin supplement daily may stave off development of cataracts in middle-aged and older men, according to an article published online in Ophthalmology about 2 weeks ago. However, there appeared to be no association between daily vitamins and visually significant age-related macular degeneration. So here's what they did. They took 11,497 male physicians, randomly assigned to take a Centrum Silver or placebo, and they followed these guys for 11 and a half years. Now, keep in mind, they didn't change their diet, and God only knows if they were taking these vitamins every day like they're supposed to, right? I mean, 11 years is a long time, and a lot of things can happen. Had no eye towards what these people were eating, how many of the vitamins they were taking, what else they were doing, whether they were vegetarians, whether they were vegans, whether they were exercise nuts, didn't matter. Whether they were 500 pounds overweight, didn't matter. The researchers found that just by following these guys for 11 years, taking one Centrum Silver, which you know by listening to me, you know, is ridiculous, because the nutritional bang that you get from that, you do get some nutritional bang from that. I mean, you do get some water out of a squirt gun. You do get some water out of a squirt gun, but if you're trying to put out a fire in your backyard, heaven forbid, it's probably better to use a hose, right? Probably better to use a hose than a squirt gun. You do get some water out of a squirt gun, however. 9% lower risk for cataract occurrence among the participants in the multivitamin group. A 9% lower risk just from taking one anemic multivitamin. Now, imagine what you could accomplish taking all 90 essential nutrients every day appropriate for body weight in doses which are extremely easy for your body to absorb, and marrying that strategy to elimination of the 10 bad foods. And who knows, maybe next year there will be 11 bad foods or 12 bad foods. You know, it's called the practice of medicine because as we move down the track, we discover new things. At least we discover new things. And when we discover new things, we add them to the things that we've already discovered. The MD's philosophical orientation, the foundation of their medical practice, is built on shifting sands. So when the MDs discover new stuff, they just discard the old stuff. They shove it aside. First they say salt is bad, then they say salt is good. They've been telling you for 40 years that cholesterol is bad, and you mark my words, within the next 5 years they're going to reverse their position, and they're going to say, oops, sorry, we got it wrong. Cholesterol really is good. They tell you all of this stuff all of the time, and you believe it because you have become wide-eyed. You have genuflected at the altar of the MD your entire life because you grew up watching Marcus Welby, MD. You grew up watching Dr. Kildare. You grew up watching MASH. Didn't you just love that Hawkeye Pierce? Didn't you just love him? You grew up watching Grey's Anatomy. You grew up watching all of these shows all of the time, and then Dr. Oz every day coming at you through the Oprah Network. Is the Oprah Network even a thing anymore? So we've become culturally conditioned to believe that the MD is the king and that everybody else is the back-of-the-bus quack who has absolutely no standing, no place in primary care medicine because the MD is the king, the emperor, and the exclusive keeper of the keys to the kingdom of medicine. It's nonsense. Your MD only knows what your MD's been trained in, and what your MD has been trained in is one tiny piece of the pie of medical science. And yet, every once in a while, they get it right. And so taking one ridiculously impotent, well, it's not completely impotent, ridiculously small dose of vitamins, the Centrum Silver, taking one of those a day gives you a 9% reduction in cataract formation if you're a man and you take it for 11 years. So, you know, this bodes well for those of us in longevity. This bodes well for those of us involved with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition because we give optimal doses, and we marry the optimal doses to nutritional strategies. We stop eating food that's hurting the body. We encourage the consumption of food that helps the body, and we give the body every day everything that it needs to fix itself. We get the heck out of the way. Support the body's police department, which is the immune system. Support the body's fire department, which is its antioxidant ability. We get out of the way and we let nature go where nature wants to go. And you know where nature wants to go. Nature wants to survive. Nature will find a way. Nature always does find a way. But you can erect roadblocks, and most people do. You can erect roadblocks to the body's natural ability to maintain and optimize its health. I mean, for goodness sake, it wasn't, you know, until, 100 years ago that we stopped peeing upstream and drinking downstream. It wasn't until about 100 years ago, well, maybe it was a little more than that. I think the Romans had this dialed in. But nonetheless, you know, one of the reasons that our lifespans have gone from an average of 45 years of age now to an average of 75 years of age is because of hygiene. It's got nothing to do with medical treatment. It's because we stopped peeing and pooping upstream and drinking the water downstream. I mean, you know, how long did it take us to figure that one out? Hundreds of years. Wow. But if you live in the United States now, quite frankly, if you live in any industrialized nation in the world, you understand that this is just the way that it has to be. You don't even think about it anymore because the cities and the towns that you live in have that all figured out. There's a public sewage system in place. It's been there for 100 years. You don't even have to think about it. You just have to pay the water bill every month. That's all you have to do. We live in houses. We don't even think about that anymore. We heat them and we cool them. Heat them in the winter, cool them in the summer. That's what we do. We protect ourselves from the elements. We develop waste elimination systems. We have secured and purified drinking water. At least in the United States, we've done that. Most industrialized nations, we've done that. Mexico excluded. So, you know, there's all this stuff that we've done that we just take for granted. And we do it in order to extend our lives, to make our lives on planet Earth while we're here a little better, a little longer, a little more pleasurable. Well, guess what? There are a couple of other things that we need to do to support and promote the structure and function of the human body, to help us enjoy a few more years, maybe a few more decades on planet Earth, and to optimize the time that we have here so that we don't get arthritis, we don't get high blood pressure, we don't get congestive heart failure, we don't get cardiomyopathy, we don't get heart attacks, our joints don't fail. We age with dignity, the way that nature and God intended it. We must, in order to optimize our existence, our march down the road of life, fulfill the body's nutritional needs every day. Got to take a shower every day, got to drink water every day. Well, you've got to consume the 90 essential nutrients every day also. You need to stop eating the 10 bad foods. You need to just stop it. No whining, no complaining, no, obfuscating, I can't do it in the town that I live. It's too difficult because when you go out to eat, well, all that you have to eat is gluten this and gluten that. Nonsense. Somebody showed up at your house today with a briefcase filled with $1 million in gold and said, "Hey, Frank, I'm giving you all this money in 30 days if you can stop eating gluten. I'm going to put a little sensor around your neck to let me know if you've cheated. I'm going to bet that you'd find a way to stop eating gluten. Even if you were the manager of General Mills. Even if you worked for Olive Garden. Even if you owned an Italian restaurant. You would stop eating gluten for $1 million in gold, wouldn't you? Well, if you do it for $1 million in gold, will you do it for your life? Is your life worth more than $1 million in gold? How much is an extra year on the planet worth for you? How much are 10? How much is spending the last 3, 4, 5 decades of your life pain-free? Sleeping through the night, waking up with all the energy that you need, and not having any joint pain. How much is that worth? Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Take the 90 essential nutrients every day, appropriate for your body weight. Increase your antioxidant consumption. Live long and prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Glidden. This is December 3rd, 2013. Going to Georgia to talk. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. I was talking a little bit about, I'm going to get to the caller here in just a second, but I don't want to miss this thought meme. Talking about walking down the road of life in the first segment. Well, it's a long road, right? And God only knows where it ends, and he or she's not telling anybody. It's like that old joke, one of my favorites. How do you make God laugh? Well, tell him your future plans. You never know what's going to happen. You never know which twists and turns are going to show up in your life. And certainly if you had told me a couple of years ago that I'd be hosting a radio show that would be growing in listenership every week, that would be in the top 5 most listened to radio shows on the Genesis Communication Network, I would have told you that I don't know what it is that you're smoking, but I would suggest that you would stop it because it's muddling your mind. But as it turns out, life is funny and you never know which way you're going to go. You never know who you're going to meet. And every once in a while, you meet somebody who just really stands out above the crowd. Well, we're going to talk about that person right now. If you go to my website, drglidden.com or Fire Your MD Now, they're mirror sites, fireyourmdnow.com, and you just scroll down on the front page, you're going to see all of the little radio excerpts that are posted on the website every day. So every day that I do the radio show, there's a little link to the radio show right there on the front page of the website with a little written explanation, little written summary, little cliff notes of what the show was about. I'm going to read you one right now. November 21st, 2013. Rita knows a child who became paralyzed overnight with transverse myelitis. Gareth, 3-year-old little boy, has arthritis, and Andy has a streaked toenail. Thomas Lamb created an answer for stress sufferers, namely his CD. But Terry's friend will get the most sympathy during this show. Dr. Glidden handles it well. You know who writes all of that? Well, it's one of these people who you meet when you walk down the road of life. And today, as it turns out, is her 71st birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice, warm round of applause for Eleanor James, without whom this show would go on, but it would go on poorly. Let's give it up for Eleanor James. Eleanor James, one of those people who really makes it fun, makes the walk down the road of life interesting. You know, I never used to be a librarian. She used to be a librarian in Fremont in Seattle, Washington. Now she's retired and she's got better things to do. But what does she do? She takes time out of her day to help you, to help me, to help you. And that's the kind of people that longevity attracts. People that are concerned about the welfare of others. People who are concerned about human suffering. People who want to make difference. People who are willing to take time out of their lives to do things for other people. We don't talk about this enough. These are the kinds of people that longevity attracts. People, yeah, we all want to make money. Nothing wrong with that. But, you know, you can make money by ripping people off. You can make money by conning people. You can make money by, you know, getting it all for yourself and being a grubber. Or you can make money by helping other people, by lifting other people up. We're all in this together. And Eleanor James does this better than most. Again, hats off to Eleanor James, without whom my walk down the road of life would, I think, be a little rougher, just a little more rough. And appreciate everything that you do, Eleanor. Keep up the good work. And by the way, you stick around with longevity, we're going to give you 40 more years. So don't even think about retiring on me. I've got to lock you in. I should create a contract today for the next 40 years. We're going to rock the world together. This is Longevity Nation, ladies and gentlemen, and this is how we move. This is Team Glidden, and this is how we move. We help each other. We hold each other up. We hold each other's hands. We lift each other up. We keep it together as a group. You know, you're never really born into the family that is really your family in life. You find your family in life as you walk down the road of life, and they come at you out of the woodwork. They come at you from every bend and every twist and every turn. You never know who the next member of the family you're going to meet is. And this is one of the great things about having a longevity business. 866-582-9933. That's the number to call to speak to me live. 866-582-9933. I promise, Jim, we're going to get to you next when we come back. I am Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Hats off to Longevity Nation. You're making a difference in the world. Keep it up. You are the last best hope your friends and family and church members and community members have, in point of fact, to live long, healthy, and wealthy lives. Let's go to Georgia, see what Jim is up to. Thanks for the call, Jim. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, I am a longevity distributor, and I have a customer that has some concerns, and I told him I didn't know what to tell him, so I figured I'd go to the expert.
All right. Well, that's how we do it. Jim, that's how we do it. What are the concerns, man?
She has a slow heart rate, and she have had it for some time, and the doctor had her on some medication while she was waiting on a heart transplant. And now they're telling her that they can't do the heart transplants because her lungs has become infected with something, and the medication that they need to give her to treat her lung, what they're giving her for her heart would conflict with each other, so it kind of like left out there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that happens frequently in the wonderful world of MD-directed medicine because they don't have a holistic view. And, you know, this is in keeping with the philosophical orientation of an MD. MDs are trained in something called reductionism. Every other doctor in the world, everybody, and by everybody I mean everybody, chiropractors, homeopaths, naturopaths, herbalists, Ayurvedic practitioners, traditional Chinese medical practitioners, acupuncturists, everybody else except the MDs and the osteopaths, because there's no more distinction between the two, practices holistic medicine. And holistic medicine and reductionistic medicine are 180 degrees opposite. Reductionism, which is what your MD is trained in, argues that the body is little more than a machine made of parts. And therefore, it's the doctor's job when you are sick to take the body apart and give one medicine for each piece that's broken. And often, the medicine that they give for the heart will interfere with the medicine that they give for the lungs, and the medicine that they give for the left knee will interfere with the medicine that they give for the kidney, and the medicine that they give for the blood pressure will interfere with the medicine that they give for the insomnia, and so forth and so on. And this is really another reason to fire your medical doctor, because their perspective on how the body works is old-fashioned, outdated, juvenile, childish. I mean, it's just wrong. It's wrong. It's like they're still walking around thinking the earth is flat, and it's nonsense. So my heart goes out to this woman, but this is not an uncommon thing to happen in the crazy upside-down, inside-out world of MD-directed medical therapeutics. So do you know, Jim, was she given a diagnosis? Did she have congestive heart failure? Did she have an enlarged heart? Do you have any idea what the original heart complaint was?
The only thing I know is that she had, when she went to the doctor, she had a slow heart rate. They said her heart wasn't beating as fast as it should be.
All right. So here's what I would do for 90 days to support and promote the structure and function of her body. I would give her, well, first she's got to clean up her diet. Everybody's got to clean up their diet. That just goes without saying. She has to stop the 10 bad foods. So do you. So do I. So does everybody. Stop the 10 bad foods, number one. Number two, one healthy brain and heart pack, 2 bottles of selenium, one healthy brain and heart pack, and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules, 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules per 200 pounds of body weight per month. Have her do that for 3 months and see what's going on. Now, if there's an active infection in the lungs, did they tell her that she has an infection in the lungs, or that there's just water accumulating in the lungs? Do you know?
I believe it was an infection. I'm not sure, but I believe she said infection.
All right. So in order to support the immune system, when there's an infection anywhere in the body, the recommendation is to kill her biotic. And in an acute infectious episode, the recommendation would be 3. How much does she weigh? Do you have any idea?
I'm guessing at about 150.
All right, then I'd give her 9 killer biotic a day for 21 days. 9 killer biotic a day for 21 days. You're gonna need about 2 bottles of the killer biotic. 9 killer biotic a day for 21 days. Then she can stop it, but she's got to clean up her diet. She's got to take those nutritional supplements every day, keep her fingers crossed, and see what happens. Because, look, people's hearts don't start beating inappropriately because they have hearts. People's lungs don't get infected because they have lungs. These things start to go south because unwittingly, unnecessarily, and unknowingly, people have been eating all the wrong foods every day their entire life. And their bodies are completely devoid, not completely devoid, mostly devoid of the nutrition that the body needs in order to maintain its health. It's kind of like, you know, you get a car when you're 16 years old. It's an unleaded engine. You put diesel fuel in the tank and you never ever tune it up. You never ever tune it up. And then 5 years later, when it starts running like crap and things start breaking, and you wonder, why this was a brand new car 5 years ago. Well, you just didn't take care of it, and those chickens came home to roost. So often, with people that are in this situation, right, when we clean the diet up and give them just a little bit of medical nutrition and fill the body up, fill the body's nutritional tank up just a little bit, things start to get better quickly and noticeably and rapidly. So healthy brain and heart pack, selenium, Ultimate Daily Capsules, Killer Biotic. Have her maintain that discipline for 90 days. See what happens. Keep your fingers crossed and call me back, Jim. I appreciate everything that you do. Does that take care of it?
That takes care of it. I will definitely pass the information on, and thank you very much.
Jim, thank you very much, and maintain your stand for the health of the people in your world. It's people like Jim that are making a difference, ladies and gentlemen. You want to make a difference? I mean, what's stopping you from making a difference in your pocketbook by making a difference in the health of people in your life? What is it that's stopping you? Whatever it is, get over it. Join us. Fire your MD now. Today's the last day for the subscription sale. An annual subscription to my online health recovery stuff, half off today. This is it. There ain't going to be no more. We're taking it to the limit here today. Check it out, fireyourmdnow.com. Alaric from Texas is back. I asked him, please call me back today, and he did. Hey, Alaric, thanks for the call back. You are live.
How do, Doc?
I do pretty good. So I've got a couple more questions about your son's asthma, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, does it get worse in the middle of the night when he's asleep, or does it just get worse whenever he lies down?
It gets worse at night.
Okay.
And I was up all night.
All right. So is it after he's asleep, or is it just when he lies down? For instance, if he were to lay down in the middle of the afternoon, would the breathing get worse or not so much?
It seems like that occurs at night because at daytime he's active, he runs around and everything, but I still hear him wheezing.
Yeah, okay. And it's the problem is with the expiration, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
but
very
it goes
good.
both ways. Well, yeah, it seems like it's hard for him to push out the air.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. So, and you also said that one of the things that he does in order to help relieve it is he has a tendency to put his head between his knees.
Well, he'll bend over and open his legs.
Yeah, okay, great. All right, so there's a couple of homeopathic medicines that we can try. And this is the great thing about homeopathy, by the way, because if you give the wrong homeopathic medicine, nothing happens. You don't die. You don't get a side effect. Your arm doesn't fall off. You don't go legally blind, right? Nothing bad happens if you take an inappropriately prescribed homeopathic medicine. Nothing bad happens. It's really, I mean, I've been doing homeopathic treatment for 25 years. I've yet to see one person hurt themselves with homeopathy. I've read about it in the homeopathic texts, but really obscure stuff. You don't have to worry about harming somebody with homeopathy if you give it the way that I recommend it. So, however, in order to get the homeopathy to work, right, we have to hit the nail on the head. This is quite a different thing than medical nutrition, which is generic, and the only time we modify medical nutrition is based on the person's weight, right? A 100-pound person gets a little bit less than a 200-pound person. Well, with homeopathy, it's entirely possible. I mean, it's the way that it is. You could have 10 people all with asthma, and they'd each need a different homeopathic medicine to recover from it. So, in any event, here's what we do. The first thing you want to try is homeopathic natrum sulfuricum. Let me spell that for you. It's N like Nancy, A, T like Thomas, R like Roger, U, M like Mary. Second word, sulfuricum, S like Sam, U-L, P-H-U-R-I, C like Charlie, U-M. Natrum sulfuricum, natrum sulfuricum. The recommendation is, now the homeopathic medicines come in different strengths. You can find this in the 30C strength, that's C like Charlie, or the 200C or the 200CK strength. 200C and 200CK are the same strengths. It just depends on which country they're made in and which manufacturing company makes them, whether they're called C or CK. They're exactly the same. Now, the preference would be to find this remedy in the 200C or the 200CK strength. If you do that, the recommendation would be to give 2 pellets orally twice a day, 2 pellets right before bed, and 2 pellets first thing in the morning. You can also give an additional 2 pellets in the middle of the night if the child wakes up and is bothered by asthma. And you're only going to need to do this 2 or 3 times. I only want you to give the natrum sulfuricum 3 doses max, because in acute asthma, If the homeopathic medicine is well prescribed, it will work after 1 or 2 doses, and you'll see a gigantic difference.
So that would be 6 pellets a day, or like 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon?
Yeah, so you take 2 in the morning. Well, when you get it, give him 2 pellets immediately, and then give him 2 pellets before bed, and then give him 2 pellets in the middle of the night if he wakes up. If after 6 pellets orally it doesn't work, nothing has changed whatsoever, then the next thing you want to give him is homeopathic aconitum. You spell that A like apple, C like Charlie, O, N like Nancy, I, T like Thomas, U, M like Mary, aconitum. Now, all homeopathic medicines are named Latin names, and they all have 2 names. The second name of the aconitum medicine is Nepellus, but you don't need to worry about that. As long as the first word on the label is aconitum, then you're good to go. Again, the 30C or the 200C strength. So get the natrum sulfuricum, do that first, and if that fails, do exactly the same thing with the aconitum, and then call me back in a couple days with a report and tell me what happens. Now, in the meantime, pay attention to how he feels and look to see if there's anything else that he does besides putting his head, below his knees, opening his legs up, putting his head below the knees, that takes the edge off of the asthma. I think you're going to love how the natrum sulfuricum works. I'm anxious to see what happens. Give it a try and give me a shout back, and I'll look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. We're going to talk to Connie in Canada when we come back. December 3rd, 2013, Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013. We're getting her done here. Let's go up to Canada. Let's see what's happening with Connie. Hey, Connie, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. How are you today?
Oh, fine, and thanks for asking. Are you freezing to death up there yet, or what's happening?
Oh, no, it's really nice here today, actually.
What part of the Great White, what part of Canada are you in?
New Brunswick.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. Want to thank you for that great price on your membership.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, we surprised a lot of people with that. We're happy to help, and the reason that we did it is to increase the downline, right? To increase the integrity and the strength of the downline. So I hope that you make the most out of it, and I hope that really it makes things a lot better and easier for you as a longevity distributor.
Well, it already has. I've been watching a lot of your videos and stuff, and really enjoying it.
Well, great. I appreciate the kind strokes. Appreciate it very, very, very much. Knowledge is power, right? And that's how we do it. We all hang in there together. So thanks for the call, Connie. How can I help?
Well, my fiance has some sinus issues. I've got him on the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, taking some glucogel. He has some inflammation issues and a surgery from a bicep tendon that was severed.
Oh, yeah.
They just cut it right off. So he's had a lot of pain from that. And then costochondritis set in, so there's a lot of inflammation on the right side of his body. Yep. Some insomnia, and really hard time trying to get rid of a sinus infection.
All right, so is the insomnia a difficulty falling asleep or a difficulty staying asleep?
Staying asleep.
So he'll wake up in the middle of the night, he's wide awake?
Yeah, because he can fall asleep, at 10 in a movie, but yeah, has a hard time falling back to sleep.
All right, so does he get sleepy during the day, like after lunch? Does he get a little sluggish, needs a cat nap or a siesta?
No, he never takes a cat nap.
Okay, so this is most likely a blood sugar issue, So there's a lot of things going on here, right? He's got weak ligaments and tendons, bones and joints. He's got the stress from the surgery, and he's got this insomnia thing and the chronic infection. Now, all things being equal, one of the reasons that people get infections that just hang fire and that it's hard for the body to kick out is because there's too much sugar in the blood. Now remember, watch the webinar that I did on sugar now that you're an insider. Sugar is the gasoline of the body, and the body loves sugar and needs sugar. Your DNA is made from sugar. Sugar is not the problem. The problem is how much sugar we're eating or how much sugar is in the blood at any moment in time. So if the body doesn't have the stuff it needs to process sugar efficiently, sugar builds up and then goes away and builds up and goes away, and it's just this crazy erratic thing in the body instead of a slow, steady trickle like the body likes it. So I'm going to bet you 25 cents that he needs the sweeties in order to help metabolize his blood sugar more efficiently. So as an experiment for the first 4 weeks, I would add 2 bottles of the sweeties into his program and give him 8 sweeties a day. But give him the sweeties between meals. Give him 8 sweeties a day between meals. And if he has a problem swallowing the capsules on an empty stomach, just tell him to eat a banana or some fruit. No nuts or anything else. The only thing I want him to eat to help ease the burden on his stomach, if it is a problem, it might not be a problem, is some fruit, a banana or an apple, or I'd even let him have yogurt, but that's it. Yogurt or fruit. So give him 8 sweeties a day, number 1. Number 2, to help with the sinus infection, you get Youngevity's colloidal silver. Colloidal silver.
I just ordered it. I'm just waiting for it.
All right, so you want to go to a health food store in the meantime and get the health food store colloidal silver in a nasal spray application. They have it in a nasal spray. It looks like an Afrin bottle, kind of, sort of. Do 3 pumps of the colloidal silver into each nostril with the chin parallel to the ground, then the chin 45 degrees up, and then the chin all the way looking up at the ceiling. 3 squirts to each nostril in each position every 3 hours during the day. Give the colloidal silver spray to each nostril and get some killer biotic. Have him take 12 killer biotic a day for 14 days. 4 with breakfast, 4 with lunch, 4 with dinner. And listen in the second half, at the very first segment of the second half, I'll give you a clue for a homeopathic medicine you can give him to help recover from the surgery. Check it out, Connie. We're up against the hard break. Thanks for the call, and keep up the good work.